When you're preparing for your acting audition monologue, it can be scary to try and figure out how to memorize your lines as well as figure out your blocking and try and bring the character to life. So, here are a few tips to help you accomplish all of that without being overwhelmed. Tip number 1, get familiar with the monologue. As soon as you get the script, begin reading it over and over and over and over and over. Read the script when you wake up, read the script when you're brushing your teeth, on the way to school, when you're walking around the house, or at night before you go to bed. Read it as much as you can. Tip number 2 is answer the following questions as your character. Who am I? Who am I talking to? What am I doing while I talk? Where am I? Why am I speaking? How did I end up in this position? Find ways that you are similar to your character and ways that you might be a little bit different. Do they talk higher than you? Maybe they talk lower. Do they use their hands a lot to gesture, or do they talk really fast? Maybe they talk really slow. Have they ever had an experience that's similar to you, or do you share any similar thoughts or feelings? Once you've answered all of these questions with as much detail as possible, you can go back and practice your script. Take note of any changes or differences that you notice in your performance now that you've given yourself a little bit more context for your character. Tip number 3 is practice your blocking. Blocking is a fancy word for movement on stage. So decide where in the space you want to begin your script. Are you downstage closest to the audience? Maybe you're in the far back corner. Whatever decision you make sure it fits the script and it fits your character best. As you practice your script, when you find times that your character moves out of this position, you can ask yourself, well, maybe they step forward when I'm asking a question. Do they move sideways when I'm telling a new part of the story? And finally, decide where you want to finish the monologue. When you're making decisions about blocking, it's important to remember that center stage is more powerful than standing either stage left or stage right. Likewise, standing downstage, closest to your audience, is a more powerful position than being upstage, further away from the audience. So decide what line is your most powerful or your most meaningful, and get your character center stage or downstage center for that line. Tip number 4 is memorize, memorize, memorize. There is no shortcut to getting comfortable with a script. It takes time and it takes focus, but just imagine how it'll feel when you stand in front of an audience and you're completely confident in what you're saying. So here are a few tricks to help get you there. Write your monologue down, or at least write out the parts of the lines that you tend to forget, and always include the sentence before so you can help your brain connect what you know to the line that you don't know. Record yourself reading the monologue and then listen to the monologue over and over with the goal of being able to say the lines along with yourself. Better yet, record the lines slowly and try and say it before you finish the recording. Get a friend to help you read through the script as you say it, helping prompt any lines you might forget and kindly letting you know when maybe you've skipped something. Put copies of your monologue everywhere, in the bathroom, next to your bed, in your book, on your phone. Read it as many times as you can throughout the day. Also, it's really helpful to read it right before you go to sleep. It helps your brain soak in the words. Grab an extra copy of your script and cut it up line by line. Jumble all the sentences up and then work on putting them back together in order. Finally, for memorization, you can take a walk. Physically move your body as you memorize your line to help keep you on track. Last but not least, tip number 5 is practice makes a polished performance. Now, we all know that it can be hard to make things perfect, but the more you practice your monologue, the more confident you will feel with your character choices, with your blocking, and with your memorization, which all leads to a clean performance. Then you will be able to walk into that audition room with your head held high, knowing you are ready. And when the nerves hit, which of course they will, you'll be able to trust yourself that you've practiced well and you have a performance that you are proud of. Hopefully, with these 5 tips and tricks under your belt, you'll feel more comfortable preparing for your acting audition. And you'll be able to walk into the audition room ready to show what you can do.